Hello, my name is Mike Maggio, and I'm going to speak to you today about Walt Whitman. As many of you know, Whitman is considered the father of modern American poetry. He's known for his use of long lines, his use of anaphora as a rhythmic device, as well as his cataloging of all the things that he sees around him in society, in places like New York City, or wherever he happens to be. He catalogs what he sees and presents them to us in a vivid picture of what American society was like during his time. This allows him to embrace everything he sees around him, the good, the bad, the beautiful, and even the ugly. He speaks to us from his perch in the 19th century, and he embraces his present, but at the same time, he is speaking to us, his future, and what he believes we should be seeing and doing in our society to make our society better. Crossing Brooklyn Ferry is a poem that is emblematic of his poetry. In it, he speaks to the potential of America, the democratic ideals, and the equality that he believes are part of what American society was created for, and the ideals he believes we should be striving for. And so, in that way, he's not only the father of American or modern American poetry, having broken the poetic conventions of his time, the rigid rhythmic patterns and the rigid rhyme schemes, but he's also a true American poet because he's speaking to us as Americans, as what our society is and should be. And as such, he is not just an American poet, he's actually a very important figure in American history. As many of you may know, he lived in Washington, D.C. during the Civil War, and he volunteered as a nurse, comforting soldiers on both sides of the conflict who were injured, who needed someone to sit beside them, often to write letters to their families because many of them were illiterate. And so he would write letters for them to their families, letting them know that they were alive and that they were doing well. Poems such as The Wounded Dresser and When Lilacs Last and the Joy of Bloom capture the nation as it grappled with the trauma of the Civil War and, of course, the assassination of Abraham Lincoln. As such, these poems and Whitman himself embody what America was in those times, and they are an integral part of our history. They speak to us from his past, or rather his present, to our present, and also to our future. And because of that, he speaks to me as a poet, and I believe he speaks to us as a nation.